bonus content here on the Locked On Celtics podcast, talking Trae Young, who, if you know that this is out there, I mean, we probably see it in the algorithm. Maybe the algorithm caught it. Watch
I like that you have a bonus content graphic for this. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, I made it myself, which is why it's so choppy and gross, because I couldn't figure out how to make it smooth.
Oh, that was just my computer.
No, that's like, but it says bonus content, and it's there. It works, and so, hey, I'm a one-man band here. I don't have producers. I don't have a lot. I don't sit there and be like, okay, take my content and go. And like, no, I produce, I edit, I do all this stuff, man. Except for sell. We have salespeople, but so watch the end of the last podcast, the Friday podcast, where we were talking about Trae and the trade. But just a quick recap for people who didn't see that. We took a little bit of a victory lap, because we've been saying that Trae Young is not a winning player for, quite some time. And we were right. Look, it all comes from, for people who don't know, it all comes from the run that he the Hawks made in the 2020-21 season.
21. Yep.
Yeah. And so they made their run, and okay, like, that was the year that Ben Simmons that was the end of Ben Simmons' career. Really, it was like, that was the flashpoint of like, okay, we're done with Ben Simmons. Doc Rivers kind of blames everything on him. If Ben Simmons takes a layup, then that run would have ended differently. But regardless, the Hawks make their run, and at that point, I was like,
they also beat the Bucks, for what it's worth.
Yes,
in the first round. Like, it was a good run.
It was a good run. Yeah. They had some things break their way, but it was a good run. And at that point, like, when Trae was like doing all his stuff at Madison Square Garden, I was like, oh man, like, I loved it.
Yes.
Fully on board.
100%.
I was fully on board. I'm like, yes, Trae Young, yes, be the villain. I love it. And so I was fully on board. And maybe this is why my hate kind of like was so strong. Hate and love are both sides of the same, two sides of the same coin. And so when one side is strong and they betray you, the other side comes out pretty strong.
So, betray you?
Yes. Betrayed me personally.
Betray Young you.
Betray. Betrae me.
Yes. When they betray you.
So they come out the next season, they start 4-5. And Trae Young says, quotes, I'm not going to lie, it's a lot more boring than the playoffs. You got to find the motivation to play like the playoffs. And I'm like, you've got a what now? you got a what? This is boring. What should have been said was, I am so motivated by not getting to the finals. We had a chance. We got so close. We feel like we're right there. I'm so motivated to come back here and work even harder to get to that level and beyond. We have a chance to bring Atlanta a championship, and I am here to lead this thing. What he said after 9 games was like, this is so boring. Like, oh, okay. Well, Lloyd Pierce gets fired. Nate McMillan comes in. He gets fired. So now Trae is bored with the regular season after not accomplishing a damn thing, gets 2 coaches fired, and all of a sudden they start winning more when he's out than when they have him. So that's the genesis of my like turn to the dark side when it came to Trae Young, because that's not personal. It's not personal, even though it sounds personal. It's not personal. I was so put off by his attitude and not realizing like, hey buddy, you are the problem. Look in the mirror. And so that has been my whole thing with Trae Young. So, but as I said, there's a redemption path here, and he can take it. It's funny because there's a comedian out there that has a bit where he walks across the stage and he's like, I've never done drugs. I've never drank. And he pauses and there's nothing. There's just complete silence. And he's like, where? If I had said I quit drinking and I quit drugs, it would have been a big applause because I never did it. People are like, yeah, so people love a redemption story. So there's one right there for him if he wants to take it. I don't know if he's going to take it, but
yeah.
So that's just my genesis of the hate. So I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the last episode, I said 5 years, and you're right. It hasn't been 5 years that because I was right there with you in 2021. I was like, wow, this Hawks team is legit. I think one of the biggest issues that I started running into with Trae Young was like, after the when the Celtics started playing like really switchable lineups defensively, that just something clicked in my head to where I was like, okay, it is if you're a starting guard and you're just able to be picked on, that is such a disadvantage for your team. And it was one of the things that I had concerns about going into this year with the Celtics with Anthony Simons, right? Was okay, like this would be the first time in a while the Celtics have had a guy who's like really pick-on-able. You can't pick on Peyton Pritchard to that level.
Yeah.
He's not Drew Holiday by any stretch of the imagination, but he's strong and he tries hard and he, can it's a lot harder to post him up if you're not Kawhi Leonard than you would think, right? Just because he plays so hard. And the problem with Trae Young was that one, he doesn't have the physical attributes to be a good defender. He's not strong enough. He's not big enough like that. And that's a problem. But then two, there's also just zero, like the effort isn't there. And that 1-2 punch of just not being big enough or strong enough or athletic enough to be a good defender and then not caring.
Yeah.
That to me was like one of the I just got so sick of that so fast. Yeah. Because like Steph Curry, right? I've been a huge Steph Curry guy his entire career. I mean, to this day, I'm like, okay. I mean, to me, Steph Curry's the greatest point guard of all time, right? Like, full stop. I think Steph's the best point guard of all time. I go through a list of like top 5, top 10 players, and he's a lot higher on my list than I think he probably is on a lot of other people's lists. I just think Steph Curry is amazing, and I've loved watching him. And one of the reasons for that, one of the underrated reasons for that, is because defense was always a deficiency for him, but he tried and he got stronger and he wasn't an elite defender, but he put in the effort, he put in the work. And the truth about defense is if you put in the effort and you put in the work, some good stuff will happen. Yes. Yeah, you might not be elite, but you can at least be passable, or you can at least be not actively detrimental to your team. And Trae Young has been actively detrimental defensively to such an unbelievable degree. Like, it's so bad with him defensively. And I don't know, man. I got really sick of that really quick. And Genesis for the, I don't want to call it hate because I don't hate him, but I am a hater. You know what I mean? I think there's a big distinction between hate and being a hater. I am a Trae Young hater. I do not hate him at all, but I am a Trae Young hater.
No, it's not personal. Like, exactly. I don't know him. How can you hate someone?
I don't know anything about him. Yep.
Yeah. But like the way he's carried himself on the floor and as a pro, I hate that. Yeah. I don't maybe even hate, like, I'll even say, I think this is worse. I don't respect it. Yeah. Which is worse.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll even say that I'll add one more thing here before we get into the whys and all of that. League average 3-point shooting has hovered around 36%. 36%, let's say. He has a career 35% 3-point shooter. Yep. Career 35%. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons in the league. How many seasons did he have at 36% or better out of 8 seasons? Care to take a guess?
Yeah, I do. I'll say 1.
It's more than 1.
Okay.
It's 3.
Is it 2? Okay. I mean, honestly, that's better than I thought. Which,
3, but his best, he had one season at 37%, which is like one season at 38%, which is the 21-22 season. And one season at 36%. So he has average, slightly above average, like okay.
At his best, he had a B season. Right. Like there were no A minuses in there.
At his best, he was okay. He's never shot 40%. He's never this season he's shooting 30%. Last season he shot 34%. He's been and like 34% on 8.4 shots from 3 per game. His like he developed this reputation because he took some long bombs and he made a couple. To your point about Steph Curry, like Steph's the guy, like long bombs, take him from the logo, take him from anywhere. Like, oh my God. And when someone else does it, they go like, oh, look, he did that thing too. And like people are like, oh, and in this social media era, that stuff gets shared. And people are like, oh, Trae Young, man, ice Trae. Look at what he can do. He does all this. Like, nah, okay. But also, no. The one elite skill that he has is passing. He can pass the ball. He is an elite playmaker. No doubt about that. But if he's not grifting for free throws and if he's not having a hot streak from shooting, like he's less effective than people think. Yeah. So
just to finish that out, we said in the episode, the game is about buckets, right? You got to put the ball in the hoop. And he doesn't do it himself at an efficient level or prevent other people from doing it. He creates some, and I mean, that is a genuine skill. Like I would never disparage his passing. Like he is genuinely one of the best passers in the NBA, if not the best passer in a lot of his seasons. Like he's awesome at that. But that's just not a superstar. That's not a star. Anyway, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Let me throw another league average. This year, league average effective field goal percentage is 54.4. That's been around 54 and change for the last 4 seasons. Before that, it's been 50. It's been climbing the effective field goal percentage. But the last time it was below 50% was the 2014-15 season. So for all of Trae Young's years in the league, starting in 2018-19, league average effective field goal percentage, which is weighted, for people who don't know, weighted to include 3-point, gives 3-pointers a little added weight. 52.4, and it's risen to 54.4. Trae Young's effective field goal percentage throughout his career is 50.4. It's been above 50 3 times. It's never been league average. He's always been a below average at effective field. His field goal percentage, his just raw field goal percentage this year, 41%. 41 last year, 43. His raw field goal percentage is bad. His 2-point percentages are in the below 50% range. What's the league average 2 points? Is it out here? No, I can't find it. He's just not as good as people think he is. He's just not as good. Anyway. So now one of the reasons why I think he was actually traded was beyond all of the stuff that we just said. The collective bargaining agreement makes it like impossible for guys like this to stick around. It makes it impossible for a team like Atlanta. Like you cannot miss on big contracts anymore. Once upon a time, I think what the Hawks could have done is we're going to sign and trade for a player that, maybe they would have made a play for Giannis, and you send a bunch of picks to the Bucks and a bunch of players, and you bring Giannis in to be the guy, pair him with Trae Young, and then you use a mid-level exception to bring in a guy, and then you start filling out your roster with minimums and get some of the ring chasers, and there you go. There's your contender, and you've suddenly remade your roster where Trae is the second option, maybe the third option, and that is more palatable because Giannis is a force of nature, and everybody's like, yeah, of course. Like Giannis would walk into the locker room and be like, we're doing it my way now. Yeah. And if you don't like it, then they would trade him, but they would at least be able to make that. You can't do that now. You can't do that because you will get hard capped. You cannot go get a player via sign and trade. You'll be hard capped at the first apron. You cannot use a full mid-level exception. You cannot make a trade with more than 100% matching salary. You cannot use a trade exception that you created the year before. All of those hard cap you at the first apron, which means you can't go out and you can't do what the Celtics are doing with Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum and paying those guys. The Celtics are above the first apron. If they were hard capped at the first apron, you wouldn't have been able to keep Anthony Simons. They would have had to flip Simons into Kevin Herter or something in, the offseason to bring you. So it wouldn't have even been like, it would have been much more difficult. So the Hawks, even though they might have come to a natural end with Trae Young, the collective bargaining agreement was also like the stick, the poking with the stick. You're like, go, do something. They don't have the options. The new CBA took away all of the other options of like, hey, maybe you keep Trae, maybe you don't. The CBA was like, no, you do not. You cannot do this. You have to trade him if you're going to move forward and try to kind of remake this team around the guys that you have now that are actually good.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a tough hit for the Hawks because I don't know, man, to get so little out of this. I don't know, man. We've talked a lot about the new CBA and all the tough things it does for these teams, but it also just depreciated his market so much. Like, I mean, we talked before, like, the Timberwolves and the Nets just kind of were like, thank you, but no thank you. Yeah. But like that was going to be the case for so many teams. I mean, honestly, it's like the fact that he found somebody who would take on his contract. I mean, the Wizards get like a free shot at the Trae Young thing, right? Like they get a free shot at like that redemption story because I mean, losing CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert for this and no picks is like, hey, for a team that isn't planning to be good for a long time, necessarily, like, it's weird, right? Because it's like, on the one hand, like if you're Trae Young, you got traded to a team that has been pretty focused on not being very good. And like, they were still willing to do that in the middle of a tanking year. Like, dang, that's gotta hurt a little bit, that's a tough hit.
Right. We don't expect you to help us win much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that sucks.
Yeah. That's honestly, man, that's kind of one of the reasons that I'm not even like, we were right the whole time. And it's like, it's not even that fun. I am notoriously a big fan of victory laps. And I'm just like, dang, man, like this one kind of.
I just picture Trae Young walking in with the Wizards front office and be like, yeah, man, I'm surprised because I thought you guys were tanking, and they're like, we are, we still are, Trae. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah,
I don't know. But look,
you're the Trae that we are this. Listen, you are a top 2 Trae on our team that we're excited about. We are.
The Wizards actually played their role in this CBA kind of perfectly. Like, this is exactly what's supposed to happen. The way the CBA is designed, team has a star. They want to get rid of him. Big contract. A team with money that can make you either have to be a team at the bottom with money and you're like, let's take a chance on this guy, or a team like the Pistons who are right there. We're one player away. We have assets. We're going to go trade for this one player.
Yeah.
They are not going to go get Trae Young, obviously, for a number of reasons. Least of which they already have a guy who's pretty good at point guard.
Yeah.
That doesn't have the same limitations. So, but like those teams are designed. The CBA is designed to make it so the teams that get expensive, they're okay, fine. Or the teams that are like, hey, we've run our course, they move the guys, and these teams at the bottom or with assets can come in and be like, okay, we're supposed to be good now. Or like the Wizards are now, they're not supposed to tank for like ever and ever and ever. This is supposed to be the move that's like, okay, here we go. Now we're going to start something.
Yeah.
My feeling from the Wizards side is you get him, hopefully he kind of like rebuilds his value, and you flip him, and you get like maybe a team will take him in a sign and trade somewhere down the road, like over the summer, and you can get a couple of assets for him, or maybe he opts into his player option and just takes his like $48 million player option. They could certainly be like, look, opt in because no one's going to pay you $48 million. Let's be honest. Who is paying Trae Young $48 million in the NBA this year? Nobody. Nobody. You know, like that's why would you? So we'll do it. We're encouraging you to take the 48 million. We will work with you. You work with us. Spend the rest of the year like getting used to things. Next year, you come in, you're our starting point guard. Let's work together, and we will work with you to get you to an actual destination. But these are the things, A, B, C, D, including trying on offense. I mean, trying on defense, working with the guys around here, being less of a heliocentric guy and being more of a team guy, like evolving your game. Like what you've done has led you here. Every decision you've made in your NBA life has led you to this moment. So those have been incorrect. Okay. Can we all just sit here and be on the same page and understand you've made these decisions and now you're with us, and that's not how that's supposed to go for you.
Can you imagine? Yeah, listen, honestly, can you imagine what an interesting place the NBA would be if everybody just had like honest conversations with each other? Right. Because what a fascinating conversation that would be with Trae Young of just like, listen, man, we kind of suck, right? Like we're not very good. And we've been at the bottom of the league for like a while. At our best, we were like significantly worse than the Boston Celtics when they weren't that good. You know what I mean? Like the Isaiah Thomas Celtics were like notably better than us. Yeah. And like that was the last time we were pretty good. And so you're here with us now because nobody else wanted you, right? Yeah. So like we can all agree that this is not an ideal pairing, or that we have not all, that the last decade has not gone like amazing for either of us, right? So like, that would just be
I would love, God, it was so much fun if that was the case.
Honestly, man, it would like, that's probably the best way to get to be productive with each other, right? Like, because you go to Trae Young and you tell him all that stuff, and it's like, listen, man, here's what we think. Okay, we think that we are not very good, and we don't want to be very good, but we do have some young guys that we like. Like we have another Trae that we like. We have Sar, and like we're really hoping that after this season we have an AJ Dibanza. We hope we have like another guy next season. It would be really cool if those young guys that we like quite a bit had a guy who can pass like you can pass. Yeah. Getting them the ball and helping them develop at that level. There actually is something here that we could all work with, but you can't be this bad on defense. Like you can't be this bad. Yeah. And if you aren't this bad, hey, one, maybe you develop a nice little chemistry with these guys. You're their vet. There's a possibility there. And if you don't like it here, there's a possibility that we can get you somewhere else. But we need help us help you. You help us, we help you, help us help you. Like
that's it. That's it, man. Like it. That is it. That is the end of the story, right? That's it. Yeah.
You could like this whole situation could work out fine for everybody.
It's just, you can't be blowing smoke. You can't be blowing smoke. You have to have that honest conversation with each other. Like
this has to be ego death. Like you have to like do a bunch of psychedelics all together, and everybody just has their little ego death, and then you're good to go. Like,
start microdosing now. Yeah, man. Like that. Honestly, though, that is the only way. That is the only way to do it. That's the. Was that?
I just said you might have to have a heroic dose, but yes.
I missed that. Oh. Yeah, I don't actually do those things, so maybe I should start. Should I start now? I'll start. I'll start doing it. I'll do it. I'll. Man. There is an absolute path for Trae Young for this to work. There's a path for this to work, but the number one thing that needs to happen is, like you said, Trae Young has to sit there and be like, okay. I'm like, I'm that movie star. I had it all. And then I gave it all away, and now here I am in rehab, missing teeth and living in, assisted housing. Like, okay, this is not great. I realize now my choices have not been ideal. And so I'm ready. Now I'm ready to what more they say you have to hit rock bottom to make that change. What more rock bottom is there than being traded to the Wizards for CJ McCollum, Corey Kispert, and 0 picks? Like, that is as rock bottom as it gets. No disrespect to McCollum and Kispert, but if you're Trae Young, multiple time All-Star, and you think you're 27, you are in your prime. And that's the return. Like, this has to be the rock bottom. So it'd be interesting to see. I think this could work out. This could work out for the Wizards. It could. And like, kudos to Atlanta for making it happen.
I hope it, honestly, man, like I said, I'm weary of war. I hope it does. I hope it does work out. Like,
I don't want it to. I don't want this to fail. I'm not like, I don't hate Trae Young, and I certainly don't dislike him to a point where I'm like, no, now you're going to go to the Wizards and fail. Like, no, I want this to work. I want the Wizards to be like, I want them to figure it out. Like, I said it before, I'll say it again. I am open to the story. I'm open to the, redemption. I'm open to, oh my God, I can't believe that my attitude was this. I got caught up and blah, blah, blah. Like, yes, give us that story. I want that story. I want it because it would be good. My loyalty is to the game of basketball. That's it. Period. End of story. If Trae Young turns things around and comes around and becomes a good basketball player or a winning basketball player and realizes the error of his ways, then fantastic. That makes the game better. Therefore, I am happy, and that's it. Like, and he doesn't have to make me personally happy, but he does have to figure some stuff out. There's a reason. Again, you're here. You're in Washington in this situation for a reason, and the reason is 100% on Trae Young. Like, it's all your fault, buddy. So,
I guess the only other thing that I don't think we touched on that is probably worth noting as my last act as a declared loud, Trae Young hater, right? Not only did the Wizards trade for you in a season where they're trying to lose, their pick is top 8 protected. And they were just like, nah, I think we'll be all right.
We'll be good.
I think we got it.
We're still good.
We're still good. Jeez.
Oh man. What a time. What a time. All right. Well, that was fun. Jeez, we did two podcasts. We did 2 full-on podcasts.
I mean, like, this, we go long, and that's why we did this. Nope.
That's why we did this.
Nope.
So, all right. Tom, thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you. Thank you for everybody who stuck around for the bonus content. I don't know how this is going to do, but I don't care. It was for someone who's been I think I had so many people on Twitter be like, when this happened, like, oh, here comes the victory lap from John Karalis. Like, I had tons of tweets on it. So my reputation is this. So I figured we had to talk about it a little bit. Thanks for the enjoying this bonus content. As always, send everybody the podcast. Tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast. It's here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.